On day 23, raw vegan, and this is a video for both of my channels, Hardcore Vegan Adventure and Orgasm Mastery. Today I want to talk about the correlation between a raw vegan diet and or a food in general and a no orgasm lifestyle, where you pretty much abstain from no porn, no masturbation, and no orgasms. So I saw a discussion on Facebook about one guy asking what is more important, no fat or a raw food vegan diet, and I commented that for me it's no fat or no orgasm lifestyle, because I feel more difference when I'm on and off of no orgasm lifestyle. For me, the biggest consequences I would have from watching porn, what I know from past, and also from ejaculating, and the masturbation also has an effect, but not as much as ejaculation or having orgasms and watching porn. Whereas if I would eat a whole foods vegan diet, so meaning like whole baked potatoes, whole steamed vegetables, or steamed whole grains with steamed vegetables with no salt, no oil, and no spices or very little spices, that for me I would not notice much difference there. And where I would eat like 100% raw vegan with lots of fruits, vegetables and coconuts, I don't notice that much difference between those two. So where is the correlation between raw vegan, or where is the correlation between pretty much diet and no orgasm lifestyle? So when I started the raw vegan challenge, it was so easy to do it because I was already like three weeks or 4 weeks, I don't remember exactly, into no orgasm. I didn't ejaculate pretty much in 3 weeks, so my dopamine levels were really like high. And when your dopamine levels are high, you don't need a stimulation from something else. So I didn't need any stimulation from fapping off or masturbating or having ejaculating, having orgasms. I was perfectly fine with just some people up there. I was perfectly fine with just having, just eating fruits and vegetables, and I didn't feel like craving for some cooked food or something, because it's the whole foods vegan, the dopamine release, and raw vegan is almost the same. So that was the correlation there. But yesterday I actually, pretty much fapped and ejaculated, not to pornography, and I immediately noticed more cravings for cooked food. I needed like some stimulation because my dopamine levels just dropped so much down, and my body needed to replenish them, just like quickly. So I was like craving some cooked food much more, and not just like potato. I was craving like some vegan curry or something like that, something really stimulating. I would not be just satisfied with like a meal of mangoes, but I kept through it, and I kept going it. But that's why many people fail at the beginning, because they just can't. So guys, somebody just interrupted me there, some photo shoots. So pretty much food and sex are the basic drives in nature. That's what keeps population growing, and that's what gives us energy to do things. So in today's society, we naturally override those natural urges, like with sex, pornography, or with perversions, stuff like that. And with food, you got junk food, and every time you're distracting yourself with these things. If you just like whole foods vegan diet with no salt, no oil, no spices, your dopamine release is just like here, and it's really stable, right? But if you add salt to it, it goes a little bit higher. If you add oil to it, it goes even higher. And if you make like a complicated junk food vegan recipe, the spike is like really high. And in order to get up there to satisfy your needs, every time you will have to, get those junk foods in you. Otherwise, you're not gonna satisfy the dopamine release and your needs. Same with goes with sex. If you just have a normal sex, the dopamine release is here. But for example, you add masturbation to it, it's up here. And if you add porn to it, it's here. And if you add hardcore porn, it's all the way up here. And the more hardcore porn, the more dopamine release there is. And every time you will have to get up there in order to satisfy your needs. So that's why I recommend at the beginning, where you're really weak-minded, in order, like, your amygdala is really weak to decide whether it's a good or bad decision to ejaculate or to watch porn. That's why I recommend to go to other distraction in order to satisfy your needs. Like, for example, you are addicted to pornography and you need a dopamine release at the beginning, otherwise you would be depressed pretty much, because you're not getting the satisfaction. So I recommend, for example, watching TV shows or getting the junk food, and they will satisfy your needs and your dopamine levels. So that's why I was able to keep up the raw vegan diet, because my dopamine levels were stable it was not as hard, because I was not eating that much junk food. I was already like pretty much whole foods vegan. I was eating salt now and then, a little bit junk food vegan recipes now and then, but I was pretty much already stable with my dopamine levels. That's why it was an easy ride for me. But yesterday when I ejaculated, and that's why I noticed the cravings, because that ejaculation, masturbation just spike up my dopamine levels, and immediately after, I craved so much junk food. It was not like I craved like baked potatoes or like steamed vegetables. I craved like some vegan curry with lots of salt and oil. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why, it goes hand in hand, sex and food, sex and diet, because that's why you see many people who are addicted to drugs, they're skinny, because they don't need to eat, they're getting their dopamine release from that, and they don't need to eat get their satisfaction from food as much. So some people believe that there is no way you can get your dopamine levels to stable level, that you need something to satisfy your cravings, like junk food or something. But trust me, it takes how long does it take? Some people say it depends on you, for how long you've been watching porn, how long you've been eating junk food. So that's why it's impossible for someone who is eating total junk food to succeed in a raw vegan diet, because their dopamine levels are all the way up, somewhere on the roof, when it comes to eating food. And they're just not gonna get satisfied with eating meal of bananas, because the bananas dopamine is just here, and what they're eating is up there. So now you understand the science. Anyway, so how do you get your dopamine down here? So it's by the time, at the beginning you gotta slowly decrease it, because if you do it drastically, somebody wants to quit porn, yeah, so somebody wants to get here where they're just having regular sex, but when they watch porn, it's up there. So what you want to do is not to masturbate, because masturbation is gonna lead to there, but you wanna you wanna take some other distraction like watching TV shows, which will get you up here, and then maybe get some junk food, which will get you close to there, or give me some other distraction, I don't know, like extreme sport, so they'll get you close to there, right? So that's what you want to do, something like that, you know. And by the time those distractions will be easy to lower down, you know. Then you take out some junk food, then you take out then you take out the watching TV shows, and then you take out the extreme sports, and then you're down at this level, you know. But it's a slower, gradual process, you know. What about the junk foods? Yeah, so somebody wants to try eating healthy, but they're eating junk food all the time. So what would you recommend to them? I think the same thing. So for example, somebody, or just with junk food, try to slowly decrease it, but I think that's a slippery slope as well. Same with this pornography. That's the same as saying to porn addict, like just watch like a little bit softer porn. Like there is no way it's just gonna lead to there anyway. So you can't just tell a junk food addict, you know, who is eating like pizzas and burgers every day to like just have like a burger with with like less oil. Or it's not gonna work. You know, he's gonna fail eventually. So what can work in that instant is the same. Just like find some other distraction, like eat like try to eat like really healthy diet, you know, like what you want to do, like a raw vegan, whole foods vegan, but get your dopamine levels up there with different things. Like, so for example, you're not addicted to again, watching TV shows can be good, watching movies, you know, things that are easy to overcome, or extreme sports. You know, getting outdoors, just getting your fixes some other way, or another way to overcome this. And this is only for the strongest minded individuals out there, is to do a hard mode, you know, just to like, and I think people can do it for like a week, but some people are about to break in, like where they're stable, but they somehow slip and they're back to where they started, you know. They just like ejaculate one time to porn, they're like here, and then another time and they're back where they started. So what you want to do is depends on how long you've been addicted to porn. So for example, you've been watching masturbating almost every day, so it's gonna take you 1 month or even more. So hard mode, 1 month, you know, gotta do it. Or you've been doing it for a while, and for me it's gonna take how many, 2 days to get back, you know. So it's not that hard, you know. For me, I was doing like 40 days now, and I just slept with like masturbation, my girlfriend. So it's not gonna take a long time for me to get my dopamine levels up there, and I already feel fine, you know. I was just thinking about that cooked food like straight after that, but 2 hours later I was already back on the track, you know what I mean? I was already back on the track. So there is a way, and it's not an easy way, but it's doable. So let me know your questions and what your thoughts on correlation between a diet and a no orgasm lifestyle, and I'll see you in the next video.